Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. Welcome to a fresh program of Defense and Diplomacy. I'm your host, Sultan M. Hali. It has been exactly a decade since we got involved in the war against terror. But unfortunately, after having lost thousands of lives and property, somehow the world still doubts, and there are doubting Thomases not only abroad but also at home regarding our commitment. Those at home question whether this is our war. So to discuss Pakistan's commitment to the war on terror, we have invited in our studio today Ambassador Aslam Rizvi, who's a renowned diplomat and also an analyst. We have with us Salma Malik, who is a professor at the Quaid-e-Azam University and is renowned for her views on the subject. Welcome.
Thank you.
Ambassador Aslam Rizvi, why do you think the world is doubting our commitment?
The recent events, especially the Obama's presence in Abbottabad, Osama bin Laden's presence in Abbottabad, the West is trying to indicate that either we were incompetent or complicit in not knowing whether he was there or not. But they are forgetting the fact that Pakistan has been in the forefront of anti-terrorism war. It has been there for decades, almost, as you mentioned from there. We have made immense sacrifices in the past in terms of human life as well as in economic terms.
In fact, to quote a figure, the Pakistan Economic Survey has come up with the latest figures. Our financial losses stand at $68 billion.
There we are. The army has lost over 5,000 people. We have 140,000 troops in the area. The commitment...
And also, sir, 30,000 civilians. This is a figure which probably some countries did not even lose as much in the Second World War.
Yes, I was coming to that aspect, that not only is the military, but at the same time we have a lot of civilian casualties. Now, a war against terror is not only against the militants who are in the northern part of the country, but there is also a sectarian element to it. Regrettably, some of these elements, especially the sectarian elements, are friends, according to WikiLeaks, have been following their own agenda, providing funds to them to the tune of $100 million or so. So we are fighting a war not only in the north, who have a different agenda, and also in the south, in the mainland, that are engaged in a sectarian
because possibly extremist groups and others with their own agenda have joined in the fray, and also some enemies of Pakistan. We'll just come back to this. Salma Malik, what's your take on this?
Well, I totally agree with what Ambassador Saab has said and what you are mentioning, the figures, the loss that we have faced. Unfortunately, counterinsurgency operations or anti-terrorism war, though we are 10 years into this, this is still new learning, even for the Americans, even for the Pakistanis. And our military, of course, had never really experienced such a thing. We were trained for a one-front war, and we knew how to engage with that particular enemy. Our defense discourse was in that direction, but we had to go inwards. As a result of that, definitely there were successes, and there were some losses as well, which is a norm that happens everywhere. But when we give it an external outlook as to how our larger allies and those who are partnering with us in this, or with whom we have partnered, to be very honest, they haven't come out very clean on a lot of those things themselves. And it's very easy to put the blame on the other party for not doing much. Pakistan is a much smaller country in this game.
But I need your opinion on an aspect. The ambassador just pointed out the WikiLeaks.
Yes.
Now, in the near past, we noticed that WikiLeaks has come out with Pakistan-specific information,
It has.
which is being leaked not in the West, but to the local media and to the Indian media. And
Yes.
some of it needs to be taken with a pinch of salt, because people have started
Definitely.
believing it as the gospel truth. My personal opinion is that this is very selective leak. What do you think?
Very, very true. I couldn't agree with you more, but the issue here is that unfortunately, when you don't have too much of information being provided from a very open source, people would tend to believe the daily breaking news coming in the papers or on the television networks. And this is how it has become. Our attention span has really decreased. So we just go for that catchy news, and the WikiLeaks has really earned that flavor of the day kind of approach here. And obviously, it is doing the required business for which it is being leaked.
Absolutely.
And questioning a lot of internal
so you would
credibility.
recommend that we exercise caution as far as accepting
We
it
exercise
into
caution, but at the same time, we also give the alternate perspective. What is the real perspective? What is the counter argument to what appears to be WikiLeaks? I mean, this is not an authentic thing. It is coming from a particular network, open,
which is of dubious origin.
whatever origin that may be. But the government or the people who are being named in those leaks, they should also come out and give their version of the story and allow the people to have a different perspective from the one they want to get wedded to.
And let the people make up their mind.
And let the people make up their
You want
mind.
to add something to this?
No, I only mentioned WikiLeaks in the context of the sectarian violence, that they are getting funding outside. So one of the requirements that our government should be doing is to, as she rightly said, to clarify from these countries that why it is being done, and make to say this is the line that we draw, and despite our best of friendship with these countries. Apart from the OBL, you know, there has been a spate of terrorist attacks, and it appears that we are not able to put a handle on that so far. And naturally, there is a perception in the West that we are incapable of handling it, and we are the hotbed, or we are the base for terrorism. But
do you think so? There's a method in this madness, because if you notice, the moment the OBL thing happened,
yes,
and then the moment the PNS Mehran attack came,
yes,
there were definite, you see, concerns shown by NATO of all the people, yes, and of course the Western media, that Pakistan's nukes are not safe.
Exactly. This is the background on that. That if we are not able to guard highly sensitive installations, they have fears that there may be attacks or getting the weapons in the wrong hands. Now, there is something in that, and it is important that we should step up our security of these installations, and not only security, but also take measures in case such a thing, God forbid, happens, that we know what to do about a nuclear fallout. What has happened in Japan is an eye-opener, whether it was by natural causes or otherwise. So the country should also be prepared. It is incumbent on the leadership to do that.
So, Salma, the ambassador, of course, has rightly mentioned about nuclear safety as well as security. But what is your opinion? Is there, I mean, let's reassure our countrymen, how secure do you think are our nukes?
Well, if we go by the official account, they are secure enough. But even...
No, but you've done a lot of studies, so I'm
yes,
sure you can add to what the layman would know.
But you see, nothing is securest or nothing is safest till it is tested. If you look at Japan experience, they had these anti-tsunami walls and anti-flood walls and God knows what not, all type of precautions that they could perceive that would happen.
But that's safety. Let's talk about security.
No. Safety and security both go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand.
One thing
you
gets
see,
breached.
the West is preaching that a terrorist is going to come in and probably grab it like a tennis ball and lob it somewhere.
Those things will not happen. I mean, the scenario of people putting a missile on their shoulder and walking away scot-free in broad daylight, that is a very fictitious scenario, and all those naval seals and marine novels that we love to watch and read, those are things of fiction. But the very fact is that why I go to Japan was that despite the best of preparations, having the best of technology, everything, when you're tested, you find that something is deficient. And God forbid, we don't really want to get tested on the security aspect of our arsenal or the infrastructure. And one thing that one has to